Titanic submersible. 5 passengers on missing sub likely dead following catastrophic implosion. The Coast Guard announced Thursday that it believed the 5 passengers who disappeared while attempting to explore the Titanic shipwreck were likely lost due to a catastrophic implosion of their vessel. U.S. Coast Guard Rear Admiral John Mauger announced at a press conference that on Thursday morning, 5 major pieces of debris had been found on the seafloor about 1,600 feet from the site of the Titanic, a finding consistent with the catastrophic loss of the pressure chamber. Mauger said they then notified the families and offered their condolences. Shortly before Mauger's comments, the company running the expedition, OceanGate, announced that the 5 passengers have sadly been lost. These men were true explorers who shared a distinct spirit of adventure and a deep passion for exploring and protecting the world's oceans, read the statement. Our hearts are with these 5 souls and every member of their families during this tragic time. The grim announcement came 4 days after a 21-foot tourist submersible named the Titan was reported missing approximately 900 miles east of Cape Cod, triggering a massive search to find the vessel before its occupants ran out of oxygen. The Titan had been projected to run out of its 96-hour supply of breathable air on Thursday morning. And because the door was bolted from the outside, those inside would not have been able to open it on their own even if they were able to reach the surface. Asked about the possibility of recovering remains, Mauger called the conditions unforgiving and said there weren't prospects for doing so at this time. The Titan, operated by OceanGate, a private exploration company based in Everett, Washington, launched early Sunday morning to tour the Titanic wreckage with 5 passengers on board. OceanGate CEO Stockton Rush, 61, British billionaire and explorer Hamish Harding, 58, Pakistani businessman Shahzada Dawood, 48, and his 19-year-old son, Suleiman, and Paul-Henri Nargeolet, a 77-year-old French explorer. The Polar Prince, a Canadian research vessel and support ship for the expedition, lost contact with the submersible about an hour and 45 minutes after launch. OceanGate reported the Titan missing on Sunday evening, triggering a massive international search effort led by the U.S. Coast Guard and assisted by the U.S. Air Force, Navy, Air National Guard, Royal Canadian Navy and Canadian Coast Guard. In 2018, more than 3 dozen oceanographers and deep-sea explorers wrote a letter to OceanGate warning that its experimental approach could lead to catastrophic consequences for its Titanic dives. Journalist David Pogue discussed some of the paperwork he had to sign in an almost humorous tone, reading, "This experimental vessel has not been approved or certified by any regulatory body, and could result in physical injury, emotional trauma, or death," before adding, "Where do I sign?" Pogue added, they could still send short texts to the sub, but did not know where it was. The company cited the need to keep all channels open as a reason for cutting off internet access, he said. Another former passenger on the Titan told the BBC on Tuesday said he had to sign a death waiver that lists one way after another that you could die on the trip, including mentioning death 3 times on page 1, and so it's never far from your mind. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe.